Raider personnel.
Raiders in the New Year's, in your heart, in your mama's lives.
Welcome. Happy New Year with a win this year.
New year, new win.
But definitely a drop in draft pick. That's for sure.
Yeah. Not too far. I honestly thought we might go to 10. They met me in the middle with the 8. Yeah. So, okay.
We were rooting for the Giants to win, and they ended up winning, but nothing, no avail, right? Nothing didn't matter.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah.
We just got to hope that the Patriots with the number 1 pick trade with us instead of anyone else.
Right.
Because now we got the Jets, the Browns, the Titans, and now the Giants.
That's crazy. Yeah,
we'll see
how
it goes,
man. That's how it goes. And this game was pretty much AOC's, looking good. The offense is converting third downs. What can you say? They scored more than 20 points.
Yeah, and we finally got a run game. Abdullah was racking those yards. His first 100 yards, I think, ever. 10-year vet, and he never had the opportunity to start. And he was running hard. I was very impressed. I was like, man, this is him? Because most of our runs came from the shotgun. So I don't know if that really helped or not, but for me, I feel like it doesn't, even though we don't have a traditional fullback. But yeah, most of his yards was in that shotgun, and AOC was swinging it. That's the other thing. They actually had to respect us throwing the ball. He started off getting the ball to Bowers, and you could immediately was like, okay, we have to stop Bowers. And then that's when the run was opening up. Michael Myers had a couple catches, I think, in the beginning. Jacoby was being targeted a lot, and we just kept going. Yeah. But that run game was just there, and Abdullah was really good. I was very impressed.
And give credit to the O-line. Andre James came back, and that might the O-line definitely plays a part in the run game. So
plays a huge part. And that was great. I was a little skeptical because Andre James, before he got injured, he wasn't playing his best. Even though when we signed him, we knew he wasn't like this badass center, but he was good. Yeah. He was a lot better than what he was showing us in the beginning. And then, of course, he lost his job to Powers because, man, he was killing it as a center. I still want him to be our center. Yeah. And then we had the injury to our guard, and Andre James didn't really have much experience playing guard this year. And then Powers, he's played all positions except tackle. So it made sense to put him back out no matter how great he's been playing center. Yeah, and it looked great. Like Andre James, I didn't see him get beaten. It was usually our right guard that was getting beat a little.
Yeah.
Powers looked great on the left guard. He was, of course. Powers was hitting people. I saw him just moving piles, and it was good to see. So, very impressed. Brock Bowers got his record.
Man, for sure. Got his records. It broke even Darren Waller's record as a Raider, right? For receptions or something like that?
Broke Ditka Puka Waller. Puka Ditka Waller.
Nuka. His rookie season as well.
Yeah,
but man, three different records, and that kid's going to be an all-star. He's a Pro Bowler.
And he beat Travis Kelce, starting Pro Bowler Brock Bowers.
That's right.
Bro, that is tight. Yeah. And everybody who doubted us spending a draft pick on them, we got him.
Yeah.
We got him.
No, that's,
you wish you had
I know
him.
when we got him, I was like, damn, a tight end, but don't we have Mayers already? I thought we should have focused on the quarterback, but and this kid turned out to be something else, man, a phenomenon.
Yeah, phenomenon. Yeah, he is amazing. The fact that he's like a starting tight end, and he was like one of the tight ends that was in the top. He was one of the players that had a top 10 like votes. He came in at number 10 for a Raider. That's great. And then a rookie tight end, even better. So, yeah, that's really good. And if we can get him a quarterback, or maybe depending on how far we fall in the draft, if we win next week, maybe we go in as AOC and just really give him the reins.
AOC had a hell of a game.
Played great.
Needle pass, a really tight window there to Jacoby in the third quarter.
He did some really good throws. I will say that he was a lot of times inaccurate, and there were times that if he would have just been a little bit more accurate, it would have lead to a touchdown and there's ones that he even overthrew that would look really horrible. What would he do if he goes in as a starter? He's getting all those play times because he didn't start. It was Minshew that started. So what if he went through all that growing pains in the first few weeks and then he became this guy, a starting caliber, quarterback?
I hear you.
But
I hear you.
I do believe we should still get a quarterback. But if we're
Right.
drafting 8 or 9, and if whoever's up front is asking for a farm system plus or one of our best players, then it's not that kind of draft for quarterbacks
Yeah,
based on what
yeah.
everybody's
I
telling
think
me.
you think we can do it
You
with
go best
AOC
player available.
considering that.
Yeah, you got to do that. If the type of GM we have, from my understanding of Telesco, is he doesn't move up and he doesn't sacrifice draft picks. Like
Yeah,
he really believes in the draft picks and building through the draft, which
I
he's
see.
done a great job with the Chargers. So
Yeah,
I don't see us doing it unless Shador really slips down to number
yeah,
5.
yeah.
Then I could see us do that.
Both 1 and 2 candidates lost their bowl games.
And Giants
I
went
don't know if
down to
that
number
matters.
4. Yeah, because right now it's Patriots, Jaguars. I forgot Tennessee Titans, and then the Giants, Browns, and us.
Yeah,
So yeah, those 3 teams in front of us that need a quarterback.
right.
Titans, you don't know what they're gonna do. They got a
Exactly.
guy a couple years ago, but he's not playing too good. They already benched him, so maybe he was a first round pick, so that's also a big loss. But who knows? Maybe they're like, all right, let's get a blue chip player. Let's see if this guy really is. And if he's as bad as we thought he was as this year, then we'll still be in the top 5 for picks. And
Yeah.
the next year is supposed to be a better draft prospects for quarterbacks. But yeah, but look, in the end, if we
Yeah.
go best player available, there's a bunch of corners that we can definitely get. If they want to go right tackle, because I think we're setting left tackle, we can do that. There's Banks from Texas. There's a couple like some big dudes that can really do some damage. I know Will Blackman, the corner, would be an awesome pick, and we could just go get receiver. I like Jacoby, but
Yeah.
I don't see him as a true one. He's got the hands. He just doesn't have that playmaking ability of just like throwing it up there and let him get it or
It also
catch.
goes for DJ, and so far, I know that Trey's been injured or not even available, I think. But
Yeah,
so yeah, he could use some help, Jacoby. And
definitely could use
so,
some help. Yeah,
but
because he's
because
got hands and he can
yeah,
run those routes. It's just once he catches it, it's going to be around there, maybe a few more yards, depending on the draft goes. If I forgot his name, but like the McMillian receiver, like the really number one receiver that they
yeah, a
all
lot of
thinking
draft
of.
picks. Yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
mock drafts
if
are saying from Arizona,
yeah,
Tatayoroa
McMillan,
McMillan.
right? Something like that. Yeah. So yeah, he's like a big receiver, 6'4", 6'5", and he's got like really good speed. So,
Yeah, yeah,
and
he's a pretty
Jacoby
good big guy. Yeah,
Myers is smaller, so he could be a perfect number 2. And then
yeah.
we'll have Turner and
Brock,
Tucker right back where they need to be, 3 and 4, and then Brock Bowers you
and then
got
maybe you can
Bowers
have a
and
mediocre or not. I'm not. I don't want to say mediocre. AOC's
right,
done well. He's a pro,
just
but
a starting caliber
yeah, yeah, starting
quarterback.
caliber.
Yeah,
And look, and back to AOC, man. The offensive coordinator Scott Turner was asked, "Do you think you see him more of a starter?" And he mentioned just there's a lot of scenarios out there, right, to say
right.
that.
Quarterback.
He's still very young.
Yeah.
But do you believe he has the ability to be a QB1 in this league?
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough question to ask. I think he does. There's so many circumstances that go into that, but I just think like the progression. He plays fast. Obviously we're not going to sit here and say he's a great athlete, but being able to get a couple first downs with his legs or extend plays to get the ball out, we've seen him being able to do that. And I don't think you can cap him at a certain ceiling, because he's continued to show you that he's going to improve and keep getting better and work hard at it.
Right.
So what does that say? The confidence, he's got a lot to work on.
Yeah,
And
and
so,
I mean we
but
all
he has
see
shown
it.
that he's working on it, man.
Yeah,
He's improved.
exactly. I've definitely seen improvements. I'm surprised how
Yeah,
much improved he
right.
is. And like I said, he has been playing better, but not enough to say we don't go after a quarterback. If we get pushed
Exactly.
out of one of these starting calibers, then
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
let's
yeah.
get one in the second or third round. There's
Well,
that
what about a
Alabama
cornerback?
quarterback.
If you
Quarterback
go
would
for
be
a draft,
great. And of
yeah,
course, if our pass rush comes back to what it should have been, Kuntz, Max, and shout out to Max for making that Pro Bowl as well,
yeah,
and
yeah,
Christian
yeah, for sure.
Wilkinson, that makes a whole difference. So I would not mind a Will Blackman. I
I just
really
feel like
would
they're
not
taking a
mind
step
him.
back if we draft a defensive player, man. The defense is good. Now,
Yeah,
again, we don't know if the coach will stick around.
yeah,
And
AP, right?
so
Yeah,
yeah, no, not even AP, but defensive coordinator.
Scott Turner. Oh yeah, that's true. He
So
might be a candidate for
yeah,
a
for
head
head
coaching
coaching or
position.
something. Yeah,
Yeah,
because he's done a hell of a job.
Yeah,
I
his
feel like,
demeanor.
yeah.
It's
Right.
yeah, like the way he just represent himself is like something you would want on a coach.
Right.
And who knows if they do get rid of AP, what they I don't think they'll offer it to him because if they're getting rid of AP,
Yeah.
that means they're bringing in
This ain't
somebody
McDonald's,
like
bro. You don't get just
exactly. It is put a most wanting help wanted and you got somebody the next
yeah.
day. And I believe the coach, if they get rid of AP, it's going to be a name coach. First of all, the Raiders, Mark Davis,
Everybody's
Al Davis,
saying Mike
names.
Vrabel, right? Everybody's saying
Yeah,
Mike
Mike
Vrabel.
Vrabel, Mike Vrabel, Grabble
Vrabel.
Rocks,
Well,
Vrabel Rocks.
but we discussed that last time in which you said that both these guys are the same type of coach. So
Same
really,
type of
yeah.
coach. Yeah, defensive linebackers, Super Bowl winning, very vocal on the defensive side. Players coach. He knows how to talk to people, but he knows how to like game management. Like everything that AP's issue has, he has it. But it's man, can we? It's like we didn't give him a quarterback, but at the same time, it's I don't want to miss out on another carousel of coaches. What? Because we didn't
Yeah.
get Hardball because of AP, which I'm not mad at because I pushed for AP. I pushed for consistency.
Yeah.
Um, but there are coaches we missed out on. And then with Tom Brady, and he's gonna want the type of program he wants. And
Yeah.
what if he decides the type of quarterback we get? What if we do go after like a Kirk Cousins, or I don't even think we have the money for it, but a Sam Darnold, or he
Or what
keeps
if the
Sam Darnold
Vikings? What if the
trade.
Vikings want to trade JJ McCarthy?
That's
And
exactly what I was gonna say.
For a Max Crosby though.
Oh, I wouldn't do
and
that.
Maybe a one second round pick. What would you do
If
there?
if I'm giving Crosby, I'm not giving you a second. If I'm giving you Crosby, because if I'm trading for Crosby and if I put Crosby out in the market, I know a few people are going to be throwing 2 first round picks at me. You got a player with that mentality, that culture setter, that
Yeah.
contract, that hard work, the one he doesn't drink, he doesn't do drugs.
He's solid, right?
Like you give up, I give up 3 first. If I'm the Lions, I give up 3 first round picks for him. If the Raiders weren't selling him, look, I'll give you 3 first round picks and some. Give me him because he'll be the difference. Yes,
But we're talking
it'll
about
be
the
tough.
Lions first round picks, which be like the pick number 30 something.
But still 3 first round picks. Yeah, you could still trade that off.
No,
to
that's
anybody,
still pretty decent, but
exactly. So,
it's
but
just
yeah,
hard to swallow. It's
yeah,
just
yeah.
getting rid of Max. Oh no.
Yeah, I would not do it. Well, either way, I wouldn't do it because I'm not giving you a Max and a first round pick when Max by himself is equivalent to. If you don't want to give 2 first, you're definitely giving at least 1 first and a second. So, yeah, I wouldn't want to give that much up for him. And it doesn't seem like that's a Telesco thing. You know what I'm saying? Like he traded for Khalil Mack. You know what I'm saying? And he traded for him when he was like at a budget price. Because remember, he went to the Bears and then Khalil Mack was having a down year. And then he brought it back up with them. But yeah, man, who knows? If we go out and get a different quarterback, that changes everything. Because if we're getting a different quarterback, then it probably means we're getting a different offensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying? If we're keeping Scott Turner, I'm assuming that we're keeping AP. Because you're not going to keep an OC and then bring in a head coach. That's dysfunctional. You know what I'm saying? You're going to bring in a coach because they were doing right back to AP. Didn't give him the tools.
The thing is, nothing's happening yet. The thing is,
that's the problem.
They're winning, and the draft is pretty much there's something behind them. And now, of course, they're going to play a better team. The Saints were struggling, right? The Jaguars were struggling.
Backup quarterbacks for both of them.
Yeah, exactly. Backup quarterbacks for both.
And then the Chargers should be running out with their backups. They can't move up or down in the draft. I mean, in the playoff seed.
They do. So if they win and Pittsburgh loses, they go to the 5th seed.
Oh, I thought they were already the 5th seed. Pittsburgh's the 5th seed.
Pittsburgh's the 5th seed. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
And the Chargers are the 6th seed. So they have something to play for. And the Bengals that are playing Pittsburgh, they can squeeze in. So, of course, numbers being moved around if Denver loses, et cetera, et cetera.
So, Denver and the Dolphins have to lose and the Bengals win to get in. I would love to see that because then if the Bengals get past the first round, they're obligated to play against the Chiefs. And so I love to see a Chiefs versus Bengals. In the playoffs.
The Bengals beat it or was close to beating them. I can't remember that.
Close to beating them because the only team that the Bengals has the best record against them.
Yeah, you're right.
The Bills beat the Chiefs this year. But the Bengals have the best record against the Chiefs. They took them out of the playoffs that
Yeah.
year that they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then they beat them 3 times in the season. But then the Chiefs have beat them twice in the playoffs.
Ah.
So yeah, that's where it gets tricky. Yeah,
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
it's gonna be really good.
I want the Raiders to win.
Yeah,
and causes havoc.
right. Exactly.
And I
Cause
want Bengals to win.
havoc. Yeah.
Cause some havoc.
Yeah, because I want Broncos to get out. I want the Chargers. They
Broncos
move
and
down.
Chargers.
So the Chargers will probably play Baltimore or the
Texans. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because the Bills are going to play the Bengals, and if the Bengals beat the Bills, then the Bengals would play the Chiefs.
Right.
But yeah, it gets a little tough. But yeah, it's going to be exciting, man. And then the Lions and Vikings is the other game that matters in the NFC. Whoever wins is the number 1 seed. Whoever loses is the number 5 seed.
They haven't played it. I thought is that.
Oh, that's a division, so they play twice.
No, I know, but that was okay. I don't know what.
No, it's the last game of the season. I think it's also a Sunday night game too.
Okay, yeah, I think that's why I got confused.
That's the one right there, man. That's gonna be the game. Yeah, no, I think the Lions play the Niners, and I forgot who the Vikings play.
You're right. It is a Sunday night game. The Vikings and the Lions, and they're for the number 1 seed. And yeah, it's gonna be. Oh, and Kansas City and Denver. Kansas City might throw out their backups for that game.
They are. I don't know for the rest of the team, but they already said that Mahomes is not playing. It's gonna be good old Carson Wentz. But Carson Wentz wants to show off to get another job next year. So if he beats the Broncos,
dude, the last time I heard that name was with the Eagles, man.
Yep,
Carson Wentz. Was it with the Eagles
man.
or the?
Yep.
What was that?
They won the Super Bowl, but with what's that guy's name? Not Flacco. Yeah, the other guy, the Philly special guy,
Fold or something like that.
Yeah,
Nick
Foles.
Foles.
Yeah, Nick Foles. Yeah. Yeah, so in which he was playing good, but then he got injured, and then Nick Foles came in, and he was just like, "Let me show you how to win a championship."
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
I didn't hear anything from him. He went to the Vikings.
He was trash. Yeah, they gave him a big ass contract, and immediately was garbage.
Yeah, that's something else. Yeah, that's just crazy, man. How that works out in sports, but.
Yeah,
it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And Tampa Bay. So on the NFC side, you have Tampa Bay and the Vikings,
and Falcons,
4th and 5th seed. LA. I didn't expect LA to make it. They came out of
nowhere.
They came out
of nowhere. Yeah, bro. Bad. Yeah, because they started off with Cooper and Puka injured, both of them at the same time.
Yeah, that's right.
And that was it. I think they were like on a 4-game losing streak or something like that. And as soon as either one of them came back or they both came back at the same time, and that's when everything changed. But yeah, that was surprising. The Niners flopped, but they did have a lot of injuries, so I will give them that much. The Cardinals started off hot, but then they disappeared. And then the same thing with the Seahawks, started off really good, and they were first place for a certain 2 weeks, and then they fell off as well. Yeah, and so then the Rams already won the division. So if the Rams would have lost, then it would have set up Seahawks versus Rams for the division. But since they won, they don't have to do anything either. But
awesome, yeah, that's something else, man. This is gonna be interesting playoffs. I think definitely Eagles over Green Bay, LA. I don't know about Washington. Can pull a hat, dude.
That one's tough because it's a running quarterback like Jaden Daniels. Like usually when I was it's like a rookie quarterback in the playoffs, you typically don't put much into it. But the fact that the way he runs, the style they play, it could definitely cause some headaches. And that's going to be pretty good. And then you said the Vikings are in, and who else is in? The Eagles. Oh, and then the Tampa Bay and the Falcons, I think, are playing for the division, right? Yeah. So that's more.
Tampa Bay and the Falcons, but I think Tampa Bay is going to take that.
I think so too. They have to. I like Tampa Bay. I like Baker Mayfield. He looks pretty good, and I like that he got out of the Brown situation, and because the Browns are dogging him. When they brought in Deshaun, they're talking about we're trying to get a more mature quarterback. While Deshaun was going through all this sexual harassment case, and he was like, "Oh, okay." Let me just go to the Rams real quick, beat the Raiders, and then get me a 3-year,
Yeah.
$100 million contract.
Yeah, that's
And back in the playoffs while y'all paying
Jesus
Deshaun.
Christ. They're talking about bad
You're
decisions,
paying
man. That's
$65
crazy.
million to a quarterback to be in the top 5 pick.
That's some bad decisioning right there.
Exactly, which I
Bad
hope we never get
decisions.
to. Bad decisions.
Yeah, not that bad.
Yeah, the Browns are a desperate franchise, man. They're desperate. We're
that's
not there
something
yet.
else. Jesus.
But yeah, we should end with the win. I'm at this point where I don't even think a loss is going to get us into the top 3 or 4 picks to get a quarterback. So I'm at this point. Let's get that win. Let's end it with a bang. What's number 8 to number 6 to number 8 to number 10? You know what I'm saying? At this point, if we're not going to trade up to get a quarterback, we can trade up for one of the guys we mentioned, which would still be a home run hit because those guys, I believe, are like the cream of the crop. And let's get that win. First game of the year, of the new year. Let's get a win.
That's right. Let's get a win,
and then
let's go ahead and move on. Beat the division because we don't have any wins against the division.
Any wins.
All right. Thank you for watching.
Get
everyone.
that win.
Raider personnel.
Raiders. Getting that win in the new years.
Chargers suck.
Chargers suck. The AFC West sucks. Besides the Raiders.